Happy Monday everyone and welcome back to Bangladesh. Of course, we are now the Bashantara Kings manager and today we have a cup semi-final. And if we do go on to win today's cup semi-final, we're also doing the final today ahead of the end of the season, which ends in just 2 months. Now, the Bangladesh Independence Cup is a massive opportunity for us to add 500 miles to our bank on our journey home. In terms of past winners, Bashantara have won this competition twice in the last 5 years, including last year. I'd really like to retain that crown. And of course, we did resign from Immigration FC, having got them to the quarter-final of an FA Cup. Was that the right move? Well, based on how my replacement did, quite probably. They lost against Johor Darul Tazim 2-0 in a tale as old as time. We've got a little youth intake to catch you up on. I have already been busy in the transfer window. And well, I've got to catch you up on things on the league as hopefully we start the week with a bang. My, oh my, oh my, I am excited for things today and I hope you are too. A warm welcome back. Today's cup game is against a team with the shortened name Buddha. Now, of course, last episode we got our feet under the metaphorical desk here at Bashantara and things have gone rather well. Of course, we won 6-2 in a live commentary at the end of last episode. From there, 4-0 win against Cox City was great. Granted, Cox City are one of the worst teams in the country. We knew goals were going to be hard to come by this year just based on our predecessors and, well, they came hardly here. Yeah, in the end, a Gay's goal there got us the win in the second half. We came back from behind at half-time. An XG of 4.28. 2 goals. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? And in our most recent game, well, we got our first defeat. Yes, the unbeaten run ends rather shortly. Sheikh Russell KC. I don't know what the D in brackets means in their name. I noticed a lot of teams in Bangladesh have that. So if anyone knows, please let me know. But they did win 3-2 here. I'm going to go ahead and say it. We were very unlucky. And if you did notice that we missed a penalty in that game, let it be known, I've learned from my mistake. Mark is now the penalty taker. My son has to take penalties, doesn't he? I forgot to set it up. He's recently gone up to 2 penalty taking, so he's doing great. Now, the nice thing about all those wins that we've strung together is it does eliminate, I think, the risk of being relegated this year. Of course, the board expectation was still to get a top half finish. Right now, we're in 6th with just 4 games left of the league season. I'm feeling pretty confident we're going to be able to achieve that board goal. Sadly, I'll admit, Continental Football by finishing 2nd is pretty much dead as a dream. Which is why today we are back for the cup games. Granted, I probably would have done the cup games anyway. This is what matters now. Now, I did allude to the fact there has been a youth intake here. There is actually a player who I think is serviceable. It is this guy, Tutul Hussein Islam. 15 years old, left back who could maybe play centre back. I'll admit it, he doesn't look like anything special. In the grand scheme of our team, he is actually quite good. And the other man we've got in our youth intake who I'm excited about is Mohammed Poniru Zaman. I want to call him the Pizza Man. Can I get away with coming up with Pizza Man from that? I think I can. The word pizza is in his name. Either way, he's not a bad goalie. I don't know if he'll ever play for us, but I have offered him a contract. And well, I did also allude to the fact I have been getting some transfers done earlier. It seems like a lot of the teams in Bangladesh just offer their players 1-year deals. And on top of that, players' values are very, very low. We have a transfer budget. We have a wage budget. I wanted to get business done early. You might be thinking, well, Jack, you had an XG of 4 in one of your games and scored 2 goals. So logically, you've signed some attackers. I haven't. Yeah, I haven't done that. What I have done, though, is try to add as much depth as possible in the areas where I could find players. And to be honest, that was a lot of defenders, such as players like Gosh here, 30 years old, 43 caps for Bangladesh. I found him via the national team, where, let's be honest, you can see why he'd be playing for them, and especially compared to our players. I talked about it last episode, but we only had 2 left-backs in the squad. Granted, we can only register a squad of 25 players, so this guy's versatility is really useful. And just as a little bit of a reminder with this team, the actual depth in this team, whilst it exists, in terms of the actual quality that the depth possesses, is kind of non-existent. So a lot of these signings I made are just to be squad players. I'm very confident we will become more familiar with these players once they join us in October, when the transfer window opens. We have Alam and Badal. These are 2 centre-backs I've managed to pick up, both happy to come in as kind of more squad players for us. 19 years old for Alam, 26 for Badal, but in terms of the quality they can offer, I mean, you can see where they're going to slot into the pecking order here. Potential 3rd and 4th choice centre-backs on free transfers. I'm just very happy with these. We also signed Rahman, who can play left back. I think I'll probably train him to play right back upon his arrival. 26 years old, 5 caps again for the Bangladesh national team. And in case you haven't noticed, there's a bit of a trend emerging with these transfers. I am actually in the process of scouting the bulk of the players currently in the national team. You can see the national team is made up largely of players of our own, and I have been looking through the remainder of all these various players here, just seeing who actually wants to join me. Turns out all the defenders are the ones interested. The one player who I found who's not a defender is this guy here, Hassan, 15 caps at 20 years old. He is a very, very good centre mid. I am tempted, I think, to train him to play defensive mid just to help him better fit our system. And if you are wondering, Jack, why haven't you scouted him? I actually didn't have any scouts until very recently. Even now, we've only got a chief scout. And to be honest, at this level, it's kind of just a safe bet that if they play for the national team, they're probably one of the best players I'm going to be able to sign from Bangladesh. Just as a reminder, we are only allowed 5 foreign players. I've been making this big focus to sign loads of Bangladesh players, and the fact that all the Bangladesh players I've signed for depth and that start in the team are more defensively minded really does open up the opportunity once players like Ahmed and Adogwu leave the club, hopefully in the off-season, potentially even Agayi, to really bring in a fresh set of foreign players to really elevate the team to the next level in the final third. Now, saying all of that, we have gone away day today. The names in Bangladesh are going to hurt my brain. I'm just going to refer to this stadium as the Mustafa Kemal Stadium. I don't mean offence. The initial bit of this name just makes my brain bleed. I'll admit, I am going to have to cheat when it comes to getting to the locations of... I mean, I can't read the language that everything's written in here, and I have absolutely no geographical knowledge of this country. Now, in terms of the stadium, why are the bigger stands at either end behind the pitches? Normally, if a stadium only has a limited number of stands, it's kind of the length of the pitch that's covered. That doesn't seem like it's the case here. And good news, everyone, there is a dot on the pitch. There is also a lovely view of the outside of the stadium, which is here. This is the stadium. I'll tell you what, I've not seen this many bikes since I went to Amsterdam on holiday. Here is the stadium. There is one of the stands. You can learn to do some kind of martial arts while you're here. Maybe we're just going to learn all about the local businesses. It feels like they've just got the advertising everywhere. Why do I not get more sponsorship money in Football Manager with all this advertising? Oh, lovely. They're selling chickens outside the stadium. That's a first. Oh, and pigeon. I assume these are to eat rather than racing pigeons. This is the back of the stadium. I don't know what's being censored here. Who knows what's going on this wall? Yeah, this is going to be very unique away days, isn't it? There is a little river behind the stadium. Can we look at the river? There is a dot. There's a dot. Let's look at this beautiful river. Okay. It's a river. It's a river. Here's the stand. Now, I'm going to be honest, my knowledge of Bangladesh is lacking. What I will say is, and I don't know if this is because the stadium was renovated in 2021, the actual, painting of the stands and stuff here is awesome. I didn't think they had a stand that ran the length on this side. They've got half a stand and this. Is this a scoreboard? I have to say, the inside of the stadium just looks kind of pretty. I love the gradient effect and the red and blue. And I've got to say, the floodlights are awesome. I feel like if you lived in these flats, you get a free season ticket for the whole year, don't you? In terms of main stands, I'll be honest, it does just look like a block of flats. Maybe the manager lives in here. It has just dawned on me, I've not seen any car parking for the away day, so rating the car park is going to be a challenge. Now, in terms of rating this away day, it is a little bit tricky, isn't it? No car parking. If you're hungry for chicken or pigeons, they've got you covered. The pitch on the inside was interesting. It was a unique stadium, if nothing else. I am, however, going to give it a 4 out of 10. Now, in terms of team news for today's semi-final, Mark has a knock. I don't care. He has to play. Ameli has emerged as my go-to striking option as well. I wasn't sure if it was going to be him or Adogwu, but whilst Adogwu has struggled, Ameli has consistently kind of shown up. 3 goals in his last 3 games and assist to boot. I want to give the 19-year-old some game time. And in some Niver news, Rahman has been sensational for us on the wing. He was not playing for this team before I came in. The previous manager had played a 4-1-2-1-2 diamond formation and just neglected this man. We've brought him in, 5 assists, 2 goals. If we just look at the Premier League stats, he actually has the highest rating in the league right now. Oh, and in terms of the rest of the team, I'm sorry to the Babu fan club that emerged last episode. He hasn't scored since his brace last time out, and Hussein is finally back from injury and ready to feature in this one. If you were wondering, Jack, what happens if you don't win this cup semi-final? We'll probably just come back for the last game of the season for some fun. Okay, into this game we go. They are playing at a 4-4-2. I immediately am thinking, do I want to look to focus the play through the middle, try and overwhelm their 2 centre mids with kind of our 2 defensive mids and the centre attacking mid? I feel like that is a midfield battle that's there for us to take. Maybe I should worry about that in a moment, because we've just gifted their striker the ball. He's all on his own with no support, and he has skied it. Instead of looking to focus it down the wings, if they're not going to have players in the middle, or rather they're going to play a 4-4-2, I feel like Mia and Mohammed, we should look to bully on their team. It has just dawned on me, we've got a Mia, they've got a Mia, they've also got a Mia with a H. The names in this country might get very confusing, but you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get there, because right now, we've got some defending to do. The ball's whipped in. Hassan, our goalie, who's still not renewed his contract, has saved that ball nicely, and is now going to look to get this ball forward. He launches it. Mark is there and nods it down to Ameli. Lovely build-up play by the shadow striker. Rahman to Hussein. Mia Zoni, who got our first goal upon us taking charge. The defensive mid is bringing it forward here. And then he forgets he has the ball at his feet. But Hussein's won it back, so don't panic. We can make something happen here. Agayi, Ameli plays it wide. Biswas, options in the middle. Biswas shoots. Forces a save. Well, we're halfway through this first half. It's not been a classic so far, but we are ratcheting up the pressure. We've had 53% of the ball, more shots than them, and, well, Biswas is trying to unsuccessfully make something happen yet again. Is it concerning that Biswas with 6 finishing is the man who's getting all our shots right now? Maybe slightly. Corner for us here. Hussein's going to whip in. De Santos. I'm looking at De Santos, who's just our massive Cape Verdean centre-back to win every header. He's not gone that one. It's another shot that's gone off target. If you were wondering, this game goes to extra time and penalties today. We have to find a winner in this game. We've had 10 shots, 1 on target. Yet again, our finishing just doesn't really seem to exist, sadly, although... Well, I thought for a moment we might have a chance. Mark won his header, but sadly, Ameli, not the man to get on the end of it. It is interesting, actually, using Ameli. I don't really use deep-lying forwards all that often, but I feel like in conjunction with a shadow striker, it can be quite a fun combo. You'll see him drop in deep, and it allows Mark to roam on ahead. And, well, we've not seen enough roaming so far. And, in fact, in a bid to get the ball forward there, we've lost it. Although Ameli dropping deep has now won it. Zoni lays it to Rahman. Mark is that man leading the line. He picks up the ball. Ameli's inside. He gives it back to Rahman, who shoots. And finally, we have a breakthrough. Talked about this guy being the man of the season so far. He's keeping that going. Now, if you're wondering, would he be your starter next year, Jack? Probably not. I kind of hope not. I'd like to strengthen the wide areas more. But so far, Rahman has been a revelation under our leadership. A player who just wasn't really given a chance and is playing very well now. We are going to be ahead at the break. And I'll tell you what, my team talk is nice and easy. Mark over a free kick. I'd love him to bang this in. Mark, bang it, bang. If I shout bang as he shoots, does that mean it'll go in? Also, can Agayi get out the way? Is he okay? Agayi? Agayi? What's he doing? What? He's not moved. Is he allowed to stand there? I guess so. Okay, an hour played in this game. I'm going to bring in a Dogwoo up front. I'm actually going to try playing him as an advance forward rather than a man dropping in deeper. Biswas out on the wing hasn't been great. Let's bring in Addons and see what he could do. The 21-year-old looks like he should be competent. I've not really given him enough chances yet. Hussein is still coming back from injury, so Babu, the fan favourite, can come on at left back as well. 20 minutes left in this game. Of course, we're winning, we look great, but I can't afford to count my chickens before they hatch or count my chickens before I buy them from the market. We've still got to do stuff here. We still need to get another goal to make me feel comfortable. Badger, Addons has had a shot for a reason that I don't really know. He's hit the woodwork. Rahman is injured. Is Rahman okay? He's okay, everyone. I was panicking. Goal kick for them is going to be launched well. That is not a good clearance. So Dogwoo picks it up. It was a great touch on his chest. He's now bringing it forward. No one closes him down. That's why I'm selling him in the summer, or rather the off-season. The European summer is the off-season in football. Whenever I say summer, just assume I'm being a European moron. Anyway, Babu's got the ball for us here. Raman back to Babu. He's going to fizz it into Mark, who has his shot denied sensationally. Rahman over the corner. Where is Dos Santos? Dos Santos is our 15 jumping reach Cape Verdean centre-back. Look at him. Not jumping. It's just gone out. I've really picked that up and nothing has happened. Mr. Official on the sideline. How much added time are you going to add on? 4 minutes of it. Another corner for us. We've not looked potent from any of these. We have looked potent from that one. Dos Santos scores his header. Makes it 2-0. We can relax. Badshah whips it in and Dos Santos heads it goalwards. No one on the post, no one on the goalie. He just looked incompetent in the net. If you were like me thinking having scored in the 91st minute, well, that will be the game. Football Manager has different ideas. Babu has the ball at the back. I'd like to think that even if we concede now, we are going to be A-OK. We've looked very, very good in this game. We've controlled it for large spells. I guess another goal for us would be a cherry on top if we could make it happen. Allowed in. Bringing it forward. Lays it back to Badshah. He's going to float it in. Mark's under it. Adogwu was under it too, and unsurprisingly, he's missed. I don't know if it's obvious from the live commentaries. I'm not an Adogwu fan, but you know what? I don't need to be. We've done what we needed without his assistance. 2-0. Look at those stats as well. We book our spot in the final. We're given £11,000 for winning it, and in the final, we are going to play Fortis Football Club. They're currently 4th in the Premier League. They've won their last 5 games in a row. Their media prediction was 8th. They're massively overperforming. Faisal here is their key man. He looks quite good. Can I buy him? Oh, I could just buy him to be a squad player. Is this how I win in Bangladesh? I'm just going to sign everyone else's players. Granted, he won't join me till next year. I feel like I should scout him. He does look quite good. I'll make a bid. I can always, delay it, can't I? If I decide that actually he's not what I need. Okay, bid negotiated. Well, we're going to be playing against him in the next game. He might be our player next year. Now, the Independence Cup final has been arranged. That game is taking place on the 31st of July. It's a month away. I'm going to get to that one. Don't go anywhere. Thought you guys might enjoy this. Just playing the very next league game after the semi-final. Yeah, a lot of my first team is on international duty for the next 2 weeks. I did wonder why there's a 4-week gap between the game I'm about to play and the next league game. Makes sense now. And I'll tell you what, it's all kicking off here in Bangladesh. A consortium has just completed a takeover of the club. No idea if they would have employed me had they been in charge a couple of months ago, but Mansur is delighted to be at the club, and he said he wants to make a big difference. He's invested, I think it was £10,000. So it doesn't really make a difference to us. Oh, it's here. Some £10,000 has been pumped into the club's coffers. £10,000. I mean, it doesn't change much. I've still got 23 days, by the way, to the next league game. The cup final's 3 days after that, because for whatever reason, we have 4 weeks between league games, and then the cup final has to be played 3 days later. They really should do something about the competition scheduling. Okay, folks, finally, we are here. The Bangladesh Independence Cup at the Bangabandhu National Stadium. We're not going to do the away day here right now because we've already done one today. And let's be honest, it's probably not going to have pigeons outside. So how can it compete? But given the fact it's the National Stadium, I suspect we'll be there for some future cup finals. Now, like I already mentioned, I have had to play 2 league games over the last month. Yeah, they've been very spaced out. 2 wins, 4-1 and 5-2. Results that actually see us climb all the way up to 4th. Sadly, at this point, I can tell you now, with confirmation, we can't get top 2. We are looking pretty good for a top 4 finish, though. And of course, now we have the Bangladesh Independence Cup. We're taking on Fortis, who are directly behind us in the league, actually behind us right now on goal difference. Their key man, Faisal, is joining me when the transfer window opens in November. So, yeah, I'm hoping he's not going to play that well for them today. Now, in terms of our own team news, I mentioned international football earlier, didn't I? Yeah, it's been so long since the last games. There's more international football now. Mark is out, Ameli's out, and Babu is out. That is not necessarily ideal. I mean, obviously, Mark is our go-to shadow striker, and Meli has been our main striker. It means a dog poo is playing up front. And then I think my best option, actually, in terms of centre attacking mid, is to promote a Gaye forward and then just bring in a new defensive mid. It's going to have to be Mohamed Jewel, who is, well, he's far from the jewel in a crown, isn't he, this guy? I'm not going to play him as a deep line playmaker. We'll set him up here as a defensive midfielder on support. I've now got to sort out the bench, but at the very least, the core of this team it is at least the first team. Now, of course, it does go without saying, winning this cup competition is worth 500 miles in the Journey Manager. It's our first cup final in what feels like an absolute lifetime. We made a habit of bottling these back in Singapore. I'm going to hope that we don't bottle this one today. Okay, they are playing a 4-4-2, so you know what? I'm going to go for the change we've made before. Narrower, force the play through the middle. I want Gaye, Zonny and Jewel just causing issues for their two centre mids. They have had 71% of the ball in the first 20 minutes. Granted, there's not exactly been a lot of opportunities, and in terms of average position, we are in a better spot. Of course, for those of you still getting used to the team colours like me, just a reminder, we are playing in red today, and Fortis, while they are on the attack, Biswas wins it nicely, plays it forward to a Gaye, Jewel. Obviously, no star striker for us today. A Dogwoo has to step up. I'm never going to call him a dog poo ever again. What a goal that is! Some will say the nickname's juvenile. I think it spurred him on to make a difference here. Also, Jewel got the assist. You literally couldn't make it up. The players who have been, well, brought in to replace the players on international duty link up for a goal. Half an hour into this game, far from a classic, I'm afraid to say, for vintage Independence Cup fans, but we will not care if we win. That shot hits the crossbar and bounces out. We do still have the resulting cornet here. Maybe Hussein can make something happen. As you can see, it is a packed house here for the cup final. You wouldn't know it's a cup final, would you? Just as a little reminder, we won this competition last year. Bash and Tara have a history when it comes to this competition. The Kings normally sit on their throne atop the pile, and while we are looking to retake the throne here, Agayi lays it attemptedly inside, doesn't quite go to plan. Ball goes all the way back to Hassan in goal for us, and now it's Mia playing it to Badger. Despite all the players out, our defence is still at its absolute best, which I think is going to be crucial in a game like this one, as a loose through ball does eventually find its target. A Dogwoo turns and hits the crossbar again. We've hit the woodwork twice in this game. It could be 3 right now. Half-time here, 1-0 to the good. I'm just going to tell the players I'm delighted. More of the same, please. We've already seen the woodwork rocked once. We're going to take this free kick short to Biswas, who runs past his man and tried to chip it in. I think it actually got saved. It was a weird camera angle. It's not ended up in the back of the net. Rahman over the corner. You know the game plan. You know what's happening. To Santos, we've hit the woodwork again. If we now go on to not win this game, I don't know what I'm going to say. 52nd minute. They're still looking to play the ball out from the back. They've been having a lot of possession, to be fair. But despite that possession, they're just not really doing a lot with it. More Salin, Islam, Reggie Bo is bringing the ball forward here. Reggie lays it back inside to Mia. More Salin, Alam shoots. I did panic for a moment. Okay, Raman hasn't had the best of games today. I'm going to bring in Aladdin on the left wing. By the way, I am fully aware his name isn't actually Aladdin. Don't ruin it for me. Chowdhury, we're going to play in at centre defensive mid as well. Little bit concerned about Mia on a booking. You know what? Udin, the youngster, on you come, my friend. With the signings that I've lined up for next season, the strength that we have on off the bench in a situation like this is going to be vastly improved. But you know what? I'm going to keep faith in the youngsters that have come through this club's academy and been picked up in the last couple of years to do the business for us. Again, puts it in. It falls to Aladdin. He's on his magic carpet and he's flying us 500 miles away. It was a throw-in on the near side. Captain Hussein laid it inside to Aladdin. Little bit of fortune to think about how this ball ended up at its target. Deflected towards him at the near post. Keeper had already committed to a previous save. I don't care. I don't want to get carried away too soon, but with 15 minutes left, it feels like 500 miles, folks, and that is big. We've played the 3 minutes of added time. This is just a formality. Let's have a corner, let's mess it up, and let's blow the final whistle, referee. I want to watch a trophy lift. I wonder if you took all the Football Manager players around the world, how many of them have managed in Bangladesh and won the Independence Cup? I reckon it's less than 10. I'm adding myself to that illustrious list. Here is the Independence Cup. We're going to hoist it aloft. And it's 500 miles. It's a party. It's a bit depressing looking at how empty the stadium is, isn't it? But I don't care. We've retained this title for this club. And hopefully this is going to spur us into next year to build on the squad in the off-season and run rampant domestically. That is the plan. Well done on winning a trophy. Want more of those next year. This has been a disappointing season for this club, but at least we get to end it on a high. I do feel a little bit like John Terry, you know, when he was suspended for the final and he kind of came out in a full kit. I've turned up for the last kind of 2 games of this competition. I'm just claiming all the credit, but That is fine with me. The board are delighted. There was an objective to win this for this year, so I've done that. It's the third time in 6 years the club have won this competition. Of course, we can't earn the 500 miles again in this competition. This one is now in the books. But it feels good to win something, doesn't it? Okay, folks, there's 2 games left of the league season, but they're actually spread out over the next month. So what I'm going to do next time is come back for a transfer special. We'll talk about the last couple of games to end the year. We'll get into the transfer business and have a jolly good time. Oh, and for those of you concerned that a dog poo will be leaving us, don't worry. There's a new Nigerian forward joining. And as a reward for those of you that got to the end of the video, here he is. Emmanuel Nduso. This guy was playing in Myanmar. No idea why he was playing in Myanmar. He was in the National League. I was looking at their Media Dream 11. He was the best player in the league. He was available for free. He looks stupendous. This is my striker next year. Come back next time to see what damage he can do.